What's up, guys? This is Matt Wong here again, and this is going to be episode 2 of my CTC modeling series. I mean, episode 2, whatever. Basically, today I'm going to do a recap of what I did last episode, and then I'm going to go into one of the most important aspects of modeling, in my opinion, which is edit mode and extrude. So, I'm going to try and do this as well as I possibly can, but it is something that's difficult to describe to newcomers. So what you're going to want to do is wait, what am I even saying? Yeah, so what I said last episode was the translate, rotate, and scale ways to transform your object. So there's obviously translate, which is basically right click or use the arrows and move. Rotate, which is simply pressing R, will rotate your object, and scale is pressing S, which will make your object bigger or smaller. Now, I also covered some navigation, basic navigation in the previous episode, but if you want to see that, I'd recommend going to my previous episode. It would just take too much time out of this one, and I don't want to keep you waiting. So what I like to do is, I don't think I mentioned this in the previous episode, is you can actually press scale or S and Z, and that will increase it in the Z-axis. Press scale X, that will increase on the Y-axis, and press scale Y, that will increase the size on the Y-axis. Or alternatively, you can press rotate X, so RX, rotate it on the X-axis, RY, will rotate it on the Y-axis, and RZ will rotate it on the Z-axis. So I find it's useful to know that and be more precise with the way you manipulate your objects. Anyways, now let's move on to this episode. What I'm going to be covering is how to go into edit mode and extrude. Like I said, it's one of the most important aspects of object modeling. So the first thing you want to do is obviously go into edit mode, because you can't really do anything other than move, rotate, and scale your object in object mode. So how to go into edit mode is you can go to this menu down here and select edit mode. And as you can see, alternatively you can press tab and that'll switch you quickly from object mode to edit mode. But as you can see, there's a whole bunch of little dots on each of the corners of your cube. So what you can do with these dots is you can translate them individually or rotate them individually and such. So you can grab these by right clicking just like an object, and you can shift right click to grab multiple vertices. Now what you're going to do with these is you can use these to manipulate your object by actually changing the object into something different rather than the presets that we have up here. Now obviously we can only do so much with what we're given. So what you're going to want to do is something called subdivide. So you want to select everything, and I like to use the circle select tool, which simply is pressing C, and you can select all your vertices. By the way, if you want to know how to do that see-through thing, that's Z on your keyboard. So once you've selected all your vertices, you press W, and then a little pop-up menu will come up and you press subdivide. Now what this does is it splits every face into 4 faces. Now that's important because that gives you a lot more flexibility with your modeling, and you can change the object in so many different ways than you could before. Like before, I couldn't do something like this. An object can be subdivided as many times as you want to give you more vertices. These things are vertices right here, and this is something that all objects in video games or cartoons and such are made out of. Now the more vertices, obviously, the more detailed your object's going to be. So say you wanted to make a chair. Like, I like to start off with planes, but everybody's modeling style is different. What I like to do is make a 2D version of that object. Now the 2D form of a chair from above is actually just a plane, so that'll speed things up for us a bit. If it's something like a gun or a tank, what you do is you find like a 2D silhouette of that, and then you try and make your plane look like that object by subdividing it. But that'll take a lot of time, and for our purposes I think it's better just to try modeling something simple like a chair. So what you're going to want to do is to subdivide it after you have your 2D image, or you can subdivide to make your 2D image, like I just said. And then how would you make this 2D image into a 3D image? How would you make something from something that's not there? So what you would do is you select everything, and then you press E, and what that does is it just basically creates another, like, it doubles your faces and just like extrudes them. So I guess extrude means basically what it sounds like. You stretch it a bit and then turn it from 2D to 3D. Now you can grab each face and try and make it more detailed, like I said before. So what you do is you extrude, and then you try and make it into the object that you want it to be. And I know it's hard to describe and it's hard to get at first, but just play around with that. Subdivide and extrude. Remember, that's how you make any kind of object. Here we have a chair. That took me how long? I don't know, like 30 seconds? It's that simple. Now, obviously for you it doesn't sound simple, because when I first learned this it wasn't simple. So just remember, when you're making an object, make a plane, subdivide, and then extrude to make it whatever you want. That was kind of weird. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me and I'll be sure to clear it up. I am really hoping that that made sense. I'm not a teacher by any means, so I'm just hoping that that made sense. Good luck, and see you next time.